Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
Welcome to the Rock Interview. We're catching up with Tiffany, who has been on the show before, singer, songwriter, performer, and actress. Thanks for coming on the show, Tiffany.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's good to see you again.
You know, I miss having you in the studio like last time, but you got some great things going on, including this new TV show you're doing, which goes to one of your hobbies and one of the things you're great at, which is food.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been on the road pretty extensively for like 3 years doing new music, working some new stuff and getting the word out there that I do live touring still and all this kind of stuff. But behind the scenes, I cook for my band. I cook for some fans. I started, not feeling good eating processed food. I've always loved to cook. It's always been a passion of mine. But it was something I did for family and friends and things like that. I thought about maybe having some kind of, restaurant later on, dreams like that kind of stuff, but never really put anything into that effort. And then, I don't know, I've been cooking for the band, literally on the road, going to Airbnbs, and it's like comforting to me, better food choices. You get that entertainment factor. Everybody's winding down at the end of the night, the wine's flowing, and I'm cooking sauce or something. And it's just so grounded. I have to have that, that kind of balance. I dig on it, and it's been something I've been doing. I did not know my fans were sharing recipes that I had shared with them, and they had their own club of themselves going. And then finally found out about that. And I thought, well, if you guys are really into it, I would love to cook with you guys, like after maybe sound check or cater something or rent an Airbnb, and do a dining experience. So that's been in the making with the tour. The tour goes, which leads to, well, what do we do? And all of that, of course, any kind of social gatherings right now are kind of put on hold for a minute till we can work it out. That led me thinking, well, of course I still want to do things, and I still want to engage musically, and I really want to engage with my fans. Like, what can I be doing? So one of my passions is to raise money for global food banks. I've been doing that behind the scenes for a while, that's been a cause that I know has been needed before the pandemic. And putting 2 and 2 together, I'm thinking, well, that's really needed now for sure.
Right.
I can put a food club together. The first $100 donation that you put, that's your membership fee, if you want to say that.
Right.
But that goes to the global food banks. So I appreciate people that do want to donate and everything like that. And then you join my madness. And you get to be part of the food club, which is Let's Food with Tiffany. And literally it's, what I love about it is it's different. It's not being with me on a show or a stage where I'm preparing to go and do something different. So my head is spaces. I'm in a relaxed environment. I'm cooking, we're talking. You also get behind the scenes about music and my thoughts of the day, stuff that I'm just sharing. So we've, done a couple, I do live interactive cooking with everyone. Then I post my recipes. So you get a catalog of recipes. It's very interactive cooking club. And then they take it from there and they have their own little offshoots that they do in the week.
How neat is that? But, I think
family as well. Yeah, it's great.
You did so well on a cooking show a few years ago. I thought, what a great evolution. I know that your fans enjoy being in touch with you this way. And if they're working on a recipe too, you can help them through the cooking process as well, right?
Well, so many of my cooking members now, they have, vegetarian or gluten-free. So I'm learning a lot of my staff that's been on the road with me, they do too. My drummer is lactose, I've got a gluten-free, and my merch guy, he's all vegetarian all of a sudden. So I'm like, okay, so I've been learning this literally when I cook for everybody, like cooking in an evening for everybody, I take all of that into consideration. So I cook meals. I'm used to cooking very big meals and great presentation and the whole 9 yards for in an hour and a half, really. So I get in there and I hustle and do my thing and chop and go. And that's how we recreate, recording the EP now that's out, the, Pieces of Me Unplugged.
Right. Which I love. I love what you did with that, which it was a great album, great songs when you came out. But I think what's so neat about the Unplugged is it really, strips down the songs. You can hear your voice over the top so nicely, acoustic guitar, but also on this digital EP, you give us a taste of Shadows, which has been your album in the works.
I know. So, I've been spoiled. We've been working out of Rockfield in Wales, which is Bohemian Rhapsody, Paranoid, Ozzy, you know, Black Sabbath, all of it, and on and on and on and on and on the list of many artists that have recorded there, David Bowie, on and on. So when, you know, you say like the vibe there is awesome. I love it. I feel like I'm alive when I come there. So we've recorded the last 2 projects there, which the EP now, the Unplugged, was recorded there. And there is something so magical about it, being in that room of all the people before, you know, leaning against the piano that Bohemian Rhapsody was written and played on. It's a little crazy, you know? So it just brings all this stuff, but they have also this amazing rustic kitchen. So you have the studio, and then you go like a couple doors down. It's got all the housing and stuff. So because we stay there for like a week or 10 days.
Yeah.
And we just create. And that's what led to the acoustic sessions. You know, just after a night, we were like, well, why don't we strip it down and just record it? What the heck? Again, wine flowing, having a good time. You're not rushing to get back, you know, to the house or something like that. You're totally engulfed in the music. And I do think it's a different process. Some of those albums, you know, like Led Zeppelin, Emmylou Harris, you know, all these albums were just really just saturated with music. There's nothing else distracting. So it's an old school process, but I really love it. And again, being at Rockfield. So that led to us going back and kicking it up a notch. You know, this last album is primarily like a rock retro album. It has some of course, Tiff pop flair to it. You still have some of your mid-tempo songs like You're Everything, which is got this beautiful instrumentation and real strings, and it's just gorgeous. But, you know, the rest of the album is really more, I call it rock retro. It's really punk based. It's great. Yeah. Like a Ramones, Go-Go's, Blondie, you know, pop again, Tiff, with like a Foo Fighters, you know, modern flair to it. So, you know, all my favorites mixed together, and then my take on it. But I'm having so much fun because it was being on the road as an entertainer, and you know, you push your songs and you try to like milk them and see what people can handle, and it makes you a better performer. And I think that knowing and having that experience on the road and knowing how I can deliver that music and how far I can go with it, and what my fans like and what they don't like, and all of that makes me a better songwriter, having that, you know, interaction with them all the time. Right. So, because I mean, there's been times you use something and you go, oh, that didn't work. Okay. I'll adjust that next show. I'll be coming back at it, you know, but I mean, you learn, you don't really know that in the studio when you're creating. Mm-hmm. Going with your heart. But, you know, now that I feel like we've got such a great touring base, that it's like, no, they'll like this. That led to us trying some of the punk stuff in the set of Pieces of Me when we were touring.
Well, I think that's what's been so incredible about you for your whole career, and why you've been able to progress with it, is because you keep evolving with your music and your performance, and you just got so many great things going on. I want to make sure our viewers know, Tiffany, for Less Food with Tiffany, for, you know, obviously your Unplugged EP with Pieces of Me and Shadows, where's the best place for viewers to go for your website, social media, everywhere?
It's tiffanytunes.com. That is the home of all homes. That's Tiff World right there. And that will also, you can hear music there. So you'll know what we're talking about. You can see, you know, some live streaming concerts that we've done, and just all the in-betweens. It'll talk to you a lot about the food club, and you can see some of those things as well. So you know if you want to get involved in that. And again, thank you for, you know, considering donating to the charity. I really appreciate it. You know, so yeah, tiffanytunes.com. That really is all things Tiff World. And what I love about the cooking club as well is, as I start to travel, it's going to be going with me. So we're going to be at, you know, we're going to be backstage. We're going to be in nice restaurants. We're going to be at Airbnbs. We're going to be on the side of the road. We're going to be everywhere in between, because I mean, my recipes have just got to fluctuate, but I think that's going to be the cool thing. I did I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and I did a lot of the cooking on that show. And it's very hard to cook for 8 people especially when you're tired. You hunt for the food. I mean, you've done some awful challenge. You don't want to mess it up, but you've got this open flame and you're doing all these pots, and it was the experience of all experience. So I do want to do some campfire cooking and things like that, just some fun stuff and some barbecuing and just things on the fly that'll be really fun with the band that everybody will see on the cooking club.
Well, I just want to say congratulations on your new cooking club, obviously on your EP and the new album coming out this summer. Can't wait to see you back on the road. I'm sure our viewers will go and check you out on your website, on your social media, and maybe do some pairings of food with some of your great songs also, right?
Well, this is definitely, yes. The answer is yes, that's going to happen.
Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for coming on the Rockin' Review.
Oh, good to see you again. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Take care, baby.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of a Bobby Bones Show.